Alright, welcome to the first jump comparison video. I wanted to provide some context to everything that's been written up to this point and give some examples that will hopefully help with the understanding. The athlete on the left is performing a long jump off of a short run-up, and the athlete on the right is dunking a basketball on a fast break. Now these are both 1 foot takeoff jumps, and although they may look different and have different purpose and intent, there are a lot of similarities between them. So starting with the acceleration, they're both looking to build speed in the beginning. So obviously it's a shorter run up a little bit with the long jump, but he's looking to build as much speed as he can. And then with the basketball player, also once he picks up the ball, he's accelerating. That's pretty good acceleration shape right there, if you ask me. We'll get to this point. Okay, so the next thing to look at now is the penultimate step, and that's the next to last step prior to takeoff. So with the long jump, he plants it right there at that orange cone. You notice the shin is pretty vertical here. And also what happens, his body bends, it gathers. He's in upright sprinting up to this point, and then when he gets to this penultimate step, you can kind of see it even before it touches down, he starts to load. He preloads that spring, entire body. And you can sort of tell here, especially the waist. Now there's a bit of an angle there. He's no longer upright. The same thing happens with the basketball player. So he gets to his penultimate step right here. It lands whole foot, just like with the long jumper, vertical shin. And the torso, you can tell easier on this side. He's really sinking into that right hip. You can tell he's loading, getting ready for powerful extension. So now we'll go on to that final block step. They push from the penultimate. So this is not a timid step by any means. He's pushing far, landing whole foot again, but it is now much further away. So this is his center of mass, roughly. And he's now much further away from the center of mass on this step. Whereas with the penultimate, he wasn't too far in front. It was more like regular sprinting. And the reason for that is a lot of the momentum has been in this direction, right? He's building horizontal momentum, but now he's got to go upward. So with a step that's a little farther in front of the body, he can decelerate and transfer some of the momentum upward instead of purely only horizontal. And again, we'll see with the basketball player, really similar things. Big push into the block step from the penultimate, lands whole foot. You can see that there. And it is significantly farther away from his center of mass than the last step. Okay, so now with extension, they're eccentrically loaded. There's very little knee bend during amortization, and this is what is called stiffness. And now they'll concentrically extend, so they raise the hip, the whole triple extension, right? Hip, knee, ankle will extend, but he doesn't toe off until right there where his center of mass has already passed that block step. And the reason for that is he's trying to gain horizontal distance as well as vertical. So he doesn't want to go purely vertical, straight up and down. That's why you see the leg making a positive ankle, or an acute angle, sorry, with the ground here, because he's still trying to go forward with the jump. And although the dunk is a little more vertically oriented, the purpose is still to gain a bit of horizontal distance. So he doesn't toe off that far behind his center of mass, but it still is a bit. Okay, some other things I want to point out here is the timing and coordination of the limbs. And it goes a lot with like the skill of jumping. In both cases here, we'll see like with this, opposite leg, and the arms, they'll aid in the jump by like giving some added momentum. So with the long jump, he'll swing that leg forward during the concentric action of the jump as he takes off, and he's punching that right arm forward as well, while the left arm is almost going straight back. And that's just to aid, again, like I said, in the momentum of the jump. And the basketball player does something really similar as well. He punches the right leg forward and up, and the arms do something interesting because he has a basketball to contend with. He corrals the ball in his right hand, but that allows the left arm to swing back freely, and then they both come up during the jump. Now, obviously, what goes on in the air during flight is going to be different. The long jumper is performing a hitch kick and is going to land, reaching and two-footed, whereas the basketball player is putting the ball through the hoop and then is going to kind of land 1-2. He can't go too far forward, otherwise he'll end up in the crowd. But all in all, I hope you could see that there are a lot of similarities between the two jumps here.